So I invite you to stand near the top of your mat. You stand with your feet about hip distance apart, toes pointing forward. You just want to create a solid foundation for yourself, nice alignment for the lower half of the body. And for the upper half, just want to feel nice and tall, well lengthened. Even just take a moment just to roll your shoulders back and down and relaxed. You might even give your arms a quick shake. And just settle into the space as you arrive. Feel free to close your eyes as you begin this journey inward. Slow, deep breaths. Our practice is going to focus on our tiptoes. This is our tiptoe balance practice. So when we work with our feet, we're working with our foundation, our balance, our sense of connection. And with all this work, we'll also be focusing on our calves a bit too. So again, just standing nice and tall, just feeling centered, connected. Feel the ground beneath you. Even take a moment just to grip the mat with your toes. Feel this solid foundation connecting. And as you continue to arrive, just going to inhale and just feel the lifting and lengthening of your spine. Just fill up your lungs. As you exhale, just draw your navel inward towards your spine. Just engaging the abdominal lock. The sense of centering, connection. Again, as you inhale, just feel the lifting and lengthening of your spine. Even feel a little bit lighter up top. Continue to keep the shoulders relaxed. Fill up your lungs. As you exhale, just draw belly in, connecting to center. This is going to help us with balance as we practice today. Go ahead and take 3 more breaths in and out. Just prepare your body to move. And when you're ready, just inhale and extend your arms overhead. A nice stretch, reach all the way up. And exhale, let's fold forward, so a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to, and just make your way down towards your toes. You might touch your toes, but of course you don't have to touch your toes here. Then inhale, slide your hands up to your shins, your knees, and extend your spine. Just feel like you're lengthening and moving forward to create that long, flat back. Exhale, let's fold and make our way down. We're going to hold here for several breaths. The intention here is maybe paying attention to the sensations down through the backs of your legs. Again, we're going to be working on our feet, our toes, and our calves. So also just want to feel some lengthening and stretch through the hamstrings and the lower glutes. You might even take a moment once again just to loosen up your shoulders, shake them out, even nod yes, shake your head no a few times. Even feel free just to sway left and right a little bit here too. Just a little bit of release. Even check in with your mouth, your jaw. Sometimes we hold tension in the jaw, in your neck. So you might even yawn. Just opening your mouth nice and wide and let it relax. Good. Just take 2 more breaths here in our forward fold. And then a weight shift into your heels. Bend your knees. Feel like you're going to sit down into a low chair. Look forward to extend your spine. Spread your wings. Take your arms out to the side. We'll inhale and stand up nice and tall, reaching into the sky. Exhale, you can bring your hands to heart center or down by your side, either one. Just hold here for a moment. Maybe another check-in with the shoulders, your neck, your jaw. Even just work your way down the body, your torso, your hips, your knees, feet. Let's go through that half salute once again, just continuing to make our way into our bodies. Whenever you're ready, and inhale to extend your arms out and up. Nice stretch. And exhale, leading with your heart, fold forward, soft knees, guide your way downward. Inhale, spinal extension, flat back, slide hands up to shins or knees, long tabletop position. Exhale to fold. Just a brief pause here at the end, maybe even a complete release. And that weight shift into your heels, bend your knees, look forward, spread your wings. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come all the way back up. There we go. Reach a bit higher. And exhale, hands to heart or down by your side. Come back to stillness here. Just using these moments to really assess how you're feeling and maybe what your body is needing this morning. And we'll continue with our sun salute. Whenever you're ready to move, inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Reach high. Then exhale, let's fold forward, taking your time. Soft knees, make your way down, maybe touching your toes. Inhale, spinal extension, or monkey pose, I like to call it, flat back right here, half forward fold. Exhale, fold and bend all the way down. So you can place your hands on your mat in front and walk or step both feet back into plank pose. Just a high push-up position, holding here for a moment. Inhale, just to feel a bit longer, even stronger in your body. When you exhale, bend your knees a bit, send your hips into the air, into downward facing dog. We're going to be here for a moment because this is our first opportunity to really get into our calves and toes, since that is our focus today. First, you might just adjust your feet and hands so you feel comfortable in your posture. Even a slight bend in the knees, send your hips up nice and high, just to help that elongation in the spine. And now into our feet. Let's just pedal the feet. I call it walk the dog. Just press one heel down as you exhale. Feel that stretch as the other heel lifts. Inhale as you alternate, switch. Exhale, press other heel down. Full, complete release of the breath. Feel that stretch. So it's kind of a slow walk of the dog here. So you're going to experience that lengthening in the calf muscles as the heels press downward one at a time. And when the heels lift, maybe experience what's happening through the balls of the feet and your toes. Just continue with that for a few more breaths. Or let's prepare the body to move first. Take a nice full breath in, fill up your lungs. Exhale completely, draw navel to spine, bend your knees, walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of the mat until you're in a forward fold. Inhale, slide hands up the legs, extending through your spine. Exhale, fold. Make your way down, that melting feeling. Weight shift into your heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive, coming all the way up. Reach a bit higher. Let's keep it moving. Exhale, chair pose. Now, as you take your seat, you're going to sit back as if you're sitting down into a chair. Weight shift into your hips and heels. Maybe you can lift and maybe tap your toes. Your outstretched arms might be up at an angle, or they can even be parallel to the floor here, just for balance. Holding. That's it. Okay, breathe in and exhale. Nice. Diving out of your seat, down towards toes, forward fold. Inhale, lengthening through the back body. Feel that full extension. Exhale, fold and bend. Make your way down to the floor with the hands. Then walk, step, or even hop both feet back to plank pose. Once again, your high push-up position. As before, you can take that shortcut to down dog. Bend your knees, send your hips into the air, or if you'd like with your exhale, bend elbows, squeeze them in towards ribs. Finish your push-up, come down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, either upward facing dog or Cobra, then exhale, downward facing dog. Once you're in down dog, take that moment to adjust the hands and feet, either pressing both heels towards the floor at the same time or pedal the feet, walk the dog, either one. Just, again, that nice conditioning of the toes, ankles, calves. Nice. Let's continue with the lunge sequence. Inhale, extend your right leg up behind you, reaching back. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel will turn to the floor behind you. Shift the weight back so both feet feel solid on the ground. Extend through the torso. Let's inhale, rise up, reaching into the air, warrior one. We're going to exhale, fold and bend. Make your way back down to the floor. Plant the hands, slide right foot back, plank pose. Complete your series. Maybe it's Chaturanga Dandasana. Nice long legs, pointed toes behind you for your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, just stepping into place, adjusting, settling in. Maybe another press of both heels towards the floor at the same time, or pedal the feet one at a time a couple times. And then continue with your lunge sequence. Inhale, extend left leg up into the air now, yes. And exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel turns to the floor, nice grounding. Long torso, hinge from hips. It feels like a floating sensation as you rise up. Yes, reach into the air. Exhale, hinge and fold. Make our way back down. Plant the hands. Let's slide left foot back. Bend elbows, squeeze them in towards ribs if you're coming down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Nice long legs. You might be on the tops of the feet, toes pointed behind you. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold for a moment here. Then we're going to make our way down to the mat. You'll just kneel down carefully and soft landing. Sit back briefly in hero. Just a couple seconds in hero if you can. And what happens here, we're getting a nice lengthening through the shins, tops of the feet and the ankles, and top of the foot. All right, then go ahead and sit off to the side so you can swing the legs around to the front here. Sit in the center of your mat and go ahead and roll down onto your back. Go ahead and draw knees into chest for a moment. Add just any intuitive movements here that feel good. It might just be a rocking sensation, maybe left and right, forward and back. I like to make circles and draw a figure 8. And then check in with feet. Since the feet are free, you might just circle through the ankles a few times. Flex the feet, point the toes. Notice when you flex your feet. Hey, what happens in the calves? What happens in the tops of the feet? Notice what happens when you point your toes. All right, go ahead and set the feet down onto the mat, knees bent. And maybe your knees and feet are about hip distance apart or just slightly wider. Inhale, fill up your lungs. Exhale, engage belly. Using that power and energy to lift hips up into the air. Again, make any adjustments with the feet. And then maybe using your arms to help lift and open the upper body. Perhaps rocking left and right several times just to get the arms and shoulders a bit more underneath you. Bending elbows at 90 degrees so that your fingertips are reaching for the ceiling. Press your triceps and elbows into the mat to help lift and open the upper body. And one last little engagement there. See if you can squeeze shoulder blades together just to engage your upper body. Now, here, adding another sensation, and lift the heels off the floor. Lift your heels. You're going to be on your tiptoes. Once you lift the heels, you might even step the feet in closer towards yourself. Just a step towards yourself. That way your shins are still straight up and down. Your knees are still going to be aligned over your heels and ankles. Okay, again, we've activated the calves and your toes. You might have lifted a little higher. There you go. 2 more breaths. Squeezing shoulder blades together and even squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. Feel that inner connection. Now step forward so your feet are flat on the mat. Extend your arms straight up into the air. Now roll your way down to the floor. Soft landing. Hug your knees into chest. Any intuitive movements here as you'd like. Again, circle the feet, ankles, flex and point if you want there. And then eventually start rocking forward and back. A good exhale to rock your way up to seated so you can come to boat pose. So let's lifting the feet here. Shins might be parallel to the floor. Activate the feet, flexing, pointing. Again, just going to keep that mobility in the ankles and feet, just very aware of the feet. Holding onto the knees here as you need to help extend spine. Yes, just sitting up a little taller. Of course, our breath, we're inhaling to fill up lungs. Exhale, core connection, a couple more times. Okay, let's move from here. Breathe in. Exhale, cross legs. Roll forwards and get your hands out in front of your cross legs at the top of your mat. Step or hop back, plank pose. And again, just naturally we're on our toes, and so just feel that in the feet. And then a shortcut to down dog. Just bend your knees, send your hips into the air, down dog. Adjust the feet and hands. Let's continue. Inhale, extend right leg up, reaching back, straight and strong. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat, back to our warrior one. Left heel will turn to the floor. Connection, strong connection, well grounded, long spine. Inhale, hinge from hips, rising up. There's our warrior one. Exhale, go ahead and open it to a warrior two. Yeah, you might adjust the feet. I like to take mine a little wider. That's it. Lunging a little deeper. Nice tall upper body, then your outstretched arms. Okay, feel your centering. And feel this good grounded sensation too. We're in this lunge. We want to feel rooted and connected here. Then our side angle pose, so reach out with the right arm, angled upper body, then rotate your arm so your right arm is reaching downward, left hand extending and reaching upward. There you go. So you might stay up high. You're very welcome to stay here where your right arm is bent, resting lightly on the thigh if you'd like, or maybe the stance is wider, allowing you to reach closer to the floor or even touch the floor with your right hand. Let's move. We're going to breathe in first. Exhale, let's turn and fold. Bring your hands down to the floor. Step back, plank pose. Strong straight line. Now you can finish the full sequence if you want, or just take that same shortcut to down dog. Just bend your knees and send your hips into the air. Adjust the feet and hands. Feel the elongation of spine. And then other side. Inhale, extend left leg up. Exhale, stepping through. Left foot to the top of the mat near left hand. Right heel turns to the floor. Shift the weight back. You want a solid foundation, light hands, so you can easily hinge from hips. Inhale, rising up into the air. And our exhale, opening to our warrior two. Just turning to your right side of the room. Make some adjustments. Nice deep lunge, tall upper body, extended arms. Just arriving in the pose. Once again, just feeling this strong connection to the floor with both feet. Your torso, your spine is really the center of this pose, right in between the feet. Side angle, let's reach out. Angled upper body, there you go. Rotate the arms, reach high, reach low. Good opening. A few breaths to experience this opening. And let's keep it moving. Breathe in. And our exhale, turn, fold. Hands to the floor here. Step back, plank pose. Again, take the shortcut to down dog, or if you'd like, complete the series, Chaturanga Dandasana. Modify that if you need to or want to. Inhale, up dog. There's our back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Settle into space here. Ready to move. Breathe in. Exhale, walk, step or hop both feet up to the top of the mat to your forward fold. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, fold again. Feel that weight shift into the heels. Bend your knees, long spine. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Here we go, reaching up, nice and tall. Exhale, arms return to your side or to heart center. Very nice. Take a moment, find the breath. Another check-in with the body. Good. Let's move into some balance here. So remember, our core center is going to help us with balance. We're going to move into tree pose. So first, just feel solid and grounded and balanced on 2 feet. A little softness in the knees. Using any props to help with your balance. That might even mean Bring in a chair or a table or stand near a wall if you need that extra support. When you're ready, go ahead and shift your weight into right foot. A little shift, root down into the floor. Hold here for a moment so you can really feel that connection to the ground with that whole right foot. As you inhale, just feel a little taller and lighter, lengthen spine, filling up the lungs. And the exhale, draw belly in. We're going to lift the left foot up off the floor, even flex the foot. Maybe the thigh comes to parallel. You're going to swing that knee out to the side and just place that foot on the inside of the standing leg. I usually go to my calf muscle there. So we're nice and tall, finding something to focus on out in front of you. If your arms are free, let's inhale, reach the arms up into the air. Hold there on the exhale. Breathing in and out. While you're standing on one foot, you might even just feel movement in the foot and ankle, just all those muscles just firing up just to help you balance on one foot. Let's keep the arms extended, swing that left knee forward, lifting knee with the flexed foot, then plant the foot into the ground, relax your arms, just bring them down by your side is fine, and even shake all that out. Check in with your feet here too. I like to do a little stretch through the toes. You might kind of roll through the tops of the feet there through the toes. Okay. All righty. Yes, there you go. And then just eventually just make your way back to mountain pose, solid and strong, on 2 feet. Find the breath. And then start shifting weight into left foot, root, connect. Again, gripping the mat perhaps with the toes. Feel the balls of the feet, the heel of the foot. Plant into the floor very strongly. And inhale to grow tall and light up top. Filling up your lungs. Exhale, draw core body in. Then peel the right foot up off the floor, lifting. Maybe a flexed foot there. Let's swing the knee out to the side. It might just be at an angle. That's fine. Placing foot on the inside of the standing leg. High could be, you can bring the foot above the knee to inner thigh if you want. Again, mine's at my calf. And then an inhale, reaching up into the air and keep lifting, like you're just going to float right up into the air. Definitely at least 2 movements. You're reaching and lifting upward and also rooted down into the ground. Again, just feeling how the foot muscles, all through your toes, your ankle, your calf even, just helping you to stay balanced. Let's keep the arms in the air. Let's swing the right knee forward, lifting knee, flexed foot, and then plant the foot into the ground. Relax the arms down by your side, and then shake it all out, even all the way down to the feet. So you can get a stretch through your toes and your ankles there. Nice. You can even shake them out. And once again, just making your way back into mountain pose, Tadasana. Take a breath. We'll continue our flow. Let's inhale, take the arms out and up, reaching into the sky. Exhale, chair pose, weight shift to the heels. Tap your toes, or you should have light toes because the weight and energy is in the heels and hips. Breathe in, then exhale, dive out of the seat, back down towards toes, forward fold. We're just going to flow here. Inhale, monkey pose, long flat back. Exhale, fold and bend, hands to the floor. Hop or step back into plank pose. Come down if you like, Chaturanga Dandasana, or some variation of a flow to make your way eventually into downward facing dog. So you can really just move as you'd like. Make your way here. Once you're in down dog, still flowing, and inhale to extend right leg up into the air. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Landing there, left heel turns to the floor, well grounded. Okay, hinge from hips, rising up, warrior 1. Exhale, opening, warrior 2. Adjusting the stance as you need to. Right away, side angle, reach out, rotate arms. Reach high and low, inhale. Still moving, good. Exhale, turn, fold, bring the hands to the floor. Let's step back into plank pose. Take the shortcut to down dog or complete the series as you'd like. Elbows squeeze into ribs. If you're coming down, finishing that push-up. Up dog, nice strong straight arms, opened heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to extend left leg into the air when you're ready. And then left foot to the top of the mat, warrior one. Perhaps a light landing as you're able, shifting weight into that back foot, long spine, rising high, reaching into the air. Exhale, opening, warrior two, settling in quickly. Here comes our side angle, reach out, rotate, reach high and low. Inhale here, and our exhale, again, a return to the earth, both hands on the floor, slide left foot back, plank pose, finishing the sequence, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale for your upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog, holding there. Inhale, really feel the expansion of the lungs. Exhale, core connection. Walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet. We'll be in forward fold. Inhale, extend through spine, half forward fold. Exhale, fold again. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come all the way up, reach high. We're going to keep it moving. Exhale, right back into chair pose. We're going to change it up a bit though. Okay, so find chair. Weight shift into the heels and hips, outstretched arms. Tap your toes. Okay, so the weight's behind you, okay? But then we're going to send that weight forward, roll up onto the toes, lifting the heels, you'll be on tiptoes. And what we'll need to do here, you can relax the arms if you need to for a moment. You want to imagine perhaps you've got a block or even like a little ball, like a softball between the knees or thighs, and you're giving a little squeeze. But it's not just in the upper legs, it's the lower portion of the legs as well, even down to the ankle bones. Feeling like maybe you're holding onto that softball or maybe something softer like a Nerf ball, squeezing, holding it onto it between the ankle bones. So we're balanced on our tiptoes here. Let's take the arms back up into the air and even stand up tall. So we're standing in mountain pose or extended mountain pose on tiptoes, squeezing towards center. Squeeze that Nerf ball between the ankles, pressing the big toes more firmly into the mat. Now we're going to fold. Breathe in, reach high. Exhale, bend your knees, spread your wings. Okay, this is really going to help you fold, okay, while still on your tiptoes. That's it. Good strength in the body, challenging our balance. Still on tiptoes. Inhale, extend spine. Maybe just rise to fingertips, send the crown forward. Exhale, fold and bend, getting low enough so you can plant the hands into the mat. Maybe just step both feet back, plank pose. Of course, you're still on your tiptoes when you are in plank pose. Take a shortcut here. Bend your knees and hips into the sky, downward facing dog. Adjust the feet and hands. You're still on toes. Let's just take a moment for a little walk the dog again. Pressing one heel down at a time. You can certainly press both down at the same time. Either one's okay. You're going to continue with a new lunge. When you're ready, inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. We're going to high lunge this time, so left heel will remain lifted. Weight shift probably came forward, but we need to weight shift back. So there's more weight in that back foot so your hands feel light. Elongate through your spine, hinge from hips, rising up, reaching into the air. Once you're tall like this, we want to keep extending and reaching high, but then lunge low. Now we're on our toes back there, so that heel is lifted. So we're not solid on the ground. To help with stability, you want to, again, imagine you've got a block or a Nerf ball maybe between the thighs. Squeeze, even down to the ankle bones. Squeeze inward. Even that big toe in front. Can you feel a bit more pressure of the inside edge of the, or even the outside edge really, of the foot? When you breathe in, exhale, lift a little to unlock the hips. Pivot left heel to the floor, open up to warrior two. We're going to take triangle pose here, something different to extend. So extend the right leg, and then reach out over that right leg and tip it over. We'll be in triangle pose. So right hand coming down, left hand coming up. We are going to do something here though, just to really activate the hamstring a little bit more. We're looking down at the right foot. Maybe the whole foot's on the ground. That's fine. But if you can, just flip the toes up, just your toes. Lift the toes, and then just try to press the heel a little bit more into the ground as well as the balls of the foot. You're going to feel a kind of a firing up in the back of that leg, which actually stabilizes that leg and hip. Just lifting the toes, root into the floor with the heel and the balls of the foot. To come out of the posture, let's bend the right knee. You can kind of relax that foot, but bend the knee. Come up to a warrior two, and then reverse the warrior. So your right hand is reaching into the air here. Reach high, still lunging. And then a big windmill to bring the hands around to the floor in front. Let's step back, plank pose. You'll be on tiptoes again for a second. Take the shortcut, downward facing dog. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. When you're ready, you're going to inhale to extend left leg into the air. Left foot to the top of the mat, going to high lunge. So right heel stays lifted. All 10 toes are pointing forward. Again, that weight shift back. So the hands feel light. You can easily extend your spine. You're starting to float up using the strength of this front leg to help you hinge from hips as you rise up nice and tall, reaching into the air. Once you're tall like this, reach high, lunge low. And then squeeze inner legs towards center. Okay, imagine you got the block between the thighs and the Nerf ball down by the ankles. Little pressure of the big toe into the mat. Feels strong in the lower half of the body. We're going to inhale, just lift a little, unlock the hips, pivot right heel to the floor so you can open up to a warrior two. Then we'll set it up for triangle. So we're just going to straighten the left leg and then reach out over the left leg and tip it over. And there's our triangle. That's it. Yeah, bring in some props if you want to, because maybe this left hand can reach the floor or not quite touch the floor, but you've got a block there. Or you can have your hand up on the leg, like mine is. Okay, let's activate the foot. So flex the toes or just lift the toes and then press into the mat with the heel, perhaps the balls of the foot. Feel what happens in the leg. It stabilizes you just enough where you might even be able to tip a little bit more into the posture. Make sure you're breathing deeply here. Good strength activation for the legs. All right, to come out of the pose, we're going to bend the left knee. You can soften that foot. Come up to a warrior two, but then reverse your warrior. Left hand reaching up into the air. That right arm can relax now. But left hand reaching high as you continue to lunge forward. Good extension. Breathe in. Here we go. And our exhale for our big windmill to bring the hands down to the floor in front. Step back, plank pose. Now, Chaturanga, I'm using that as a verb, coming down, but come all the way down to your belly. Come all the way down to your belly. Long legs, point your toes behind you. You're just going to do a low cobra or locust. Okay, you're going to roll the shoulders back a little bit from the floor, squeezing shoulder blades together. As you press the hands into the floor, just lift your chest away from the floor, just a few inches. And just reach through your toes to the back of the room. Grip the mat with your fingertips, even feel like you're trying to pull or drag yourself forward. As we're in this back bend, that's helping to make space in the low back, just providing a different sensation for the feet as well. Okay, go ahead and soften, relax a little bit, and then press yourself to hands and knees. And just a series of cat and cow since we're here. Now you can keep the feet flat, or you can even tuck toes, either one. Okay, whatever your feet need at that moment. And then cat and cow. Inhale, lift head and heart, arching the back. Exhale, round it all out. It feels nice. Lifting head and heart, creating the back bend. Exhale, tuck tailbone underneath, belly button pulls up towards spine, chin to chest. A few more times. Again, the feet can be flat, or you can tuck toes. Here's something you can add if you want to. If you tuck your toes, you might even just sit back a little bit, just to put a little, so you can just feel that stretch in the toes if you need it. Go ahead and take 3 more breaths wherever you are, just taking 3 more breaths. And eventually, you can either sit back in hero pose or even child's pose, either one, just to get off the hands for a moment, but still that lengthening kind of pass. If you're in hero, you may be feeling this stretch through the knees, okay, down through the shins, and certainly the tops of the feet and the ankles. You can get a similar sensation if you're in child's pose, just depending on how deep you're taking that seat. Okay, just 3 more breaths. After the 3rd breath, if you're in child's pose, just come up to hero, just briefly in hero, just sitting up. And then you'll just sit off to the side, swing the legs around to the front, and just come to cobbler's pose. Now this is certainly a hip opener. I'm going to bring in my block as well. Let me just show you. It's certainly a hip opener, but since we're focusing on feet and ankles, toes and ankles, in a way you've got a flexed foot here, okay? So it's just kind of happening naturally as we're getting into the inner thigh stretch. And you can do what you want here. You can just sit up nice and tall. Feel free to hinge forward a little bit. Okay, while you're there, making sure that you can see me, because I'm going to demonstrate something. All right, I'm just going to come to a downward facing dog. I'm going to go ahead and take my right leg into the air. Instead of bringing my foot all the way up to the top of the mat past my fingertips, I'm landing short. I've got maybe 2 or 3 inches between my foot and my hand, and that should be fine. And this also may make my body come forward a little bit, so I want to shift the weight back. I might even step my hands back, so there's not a lot of distance between the feet. And then from here, I'm rising to a high lunge. So the left heel is lifted in this case, rising high, just like that. But once I'm in this pose, even though it's a shorter lunge, once I'm here, I'm going to lift that right heel and then lunge. And that'll kind of feel like a regular lunging sensation, except you've got both heels lifted. You've got to really squeeze into mid-thigh, inner thigh. Okay? So that's our sensation. Maybe a couple more breaths in your cobbler's pose. If you happen to be sitting on a prop, you might want to come off that prop, because we're going to move into boat and then transition from there. So whenever you're ready, coming off that prop, leaning back so you can bring the knees together, let the feet float into the air, hold on to the knees if you need to, maybe some circles with the feet right there. Make sure you have a nicely extended spine, core connection, and we'll move. Breathe in. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front or to the side so you can hop or step back into plank pose. And then we'll take a shortcut to down dog. So we're just going to go right into that new series. Okay? So once you're in down dog, you're going to inhale, extend right leg up, straight and strong, reach for the wall behind you. Exhaling to bring right foot, but landing short of that right hand, 2 or 3 inches. Stepping the hands back to shift the weight back towards that lifted left heel. It's still lifted. Okay, you want to even look at your right leg, making sure your knee is maybe aligned over the heel or ankle and not past the midfoot. And then rise into this shorter distance lunge. So we're in a high lunge, but not a lot of distance between the feet. But once you're here, go ahead and lift that front heel and lunge. And just notice how that feels, because it might feel a bit more natural. Okay, it'll feel more lunge-like. Yes, there you go. So both heels are lifted. There's not a lot of stability, so we need to hug. Squeeze legs inward. Squeeze that Nerf ball. Squeeze the block between the thighs. Nice and tall here. Okay? Okay, so we're up on our tiptoes here. Breathe in. Exhale, you're going to open up to warrior 2. Plant the feet. Okay, still it might be a short stance. That's okay. And then a kind of a short side angle. Okay? Because we want to make sure that knee doesn't go jetting past the midfoot or toes. So your right hand may not go down very low, and that's fine for this part. Breathe in. Exhale, we're going to carefully turn, fold, hands to the floor, step back, plank pose. And then take your shortcut to down dog. We're just going to do that same thing other side. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. With the exhale, left foot lands shy of the left hand.
Mine came down like 4 inches behind the hand. Really need to shift the weight back. Hands are light. Extend the spine. Lifting. Remember that right heel's lifted, all 10 toes pointing forward here. Once you're tall, once you're ready, lift that left heel, lunge. Hug to center. Squeeze through the inner legs. Even pull belly in a little tighter. Even imagine you're holding on to something between your hands or arms. All those toes, oh, you can feel the feet activated here. Okay, we're going to breathe in. Exhale, open to warrior 2. Plant the heels. It'll be a shorter stance. You can certainly widen it, but you can keep it short for now. Taking side angle, very modified, because again, we don't want this left knee to jet past mid-foot. Keep it nicely aligned as best as you can over the left ankle bone or heel. Breathe in, here we go. Exhale, turn, fold, bend, hands to the floor, slide that left foot back into plank pose. Come down, Chaturanga Dandasana, up dog or Cobra or locust pose. Be sure to lengthen the legs and feet behind you. To lengthen through the tops of the feet. And then downward facing dog. Next series. Inhale, once again, extend right leg up. Right foot lands shy of right hand. Okay, so that short lunge. Shift weight back, rise to the high lunge, but it's a short lunge. Rising high here. Once you're tall, lift right heel, lunge deeper, hug to center. Here's the new movement. Hinge forward about 45 degrees, sending a little bit more weight into this front foot so we can step forward into chair pose on tiptoes. So heels are lifted, squeeze the Nerf ball between the ankles, and then stand up tall, reach high, big stretch, big toes are pressing into the mat, squeeze the Nerf ball. We're going to fold. Breathe in first. Exhale, bend the knees. Spread your wings. Fold. That's it. Heels are lifted. Monkey pose. Just extend the spine. Exhale, fold and bend. Hands to the mat. Walk, step, or hop both feet back, plank. Come down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog. Experience the lengthening through the tops of the feet. If you can, lift the knees off the floor in your up dog. Downward facing dog here. Inhale, extend left leg into the sky. Exhale, left foot comes forward, landing shy of the left hand, so some inches between the foot and hand. Shifting weight back, find the balance, hinge from hips, rising to your high lunge. It'll be a short distance between the feet. Once you're tall, okay, lift the left heel, lunge a little deeper. Hug to center, inner thighs, knees, shins, ankle bones, even though you're in a lunge. Now hinge forward about 45 degrees, getting weight into this left foot so you can step forward into chair pose, still on tiptoes. Hug to midline. Don't forget about your core center. Navel pulls in. Stand up tall, squeezing inner legs towards center body. There's our balancing act right there. Swan dive, yes? Bend knees, spread your wings, fold and bend. Find the ground. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, fold and bend, hands to the floor. Hop or step back, plank pose. Again, come down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog. If you choose up dog, see if you can lift the knees off the floor. You're pressing the tops of the feet into the ground. That'll help that stretch in the ankles. And then downward facing dog. You're going to go back to the floor for our bridge pose. Hop forward, cross legs to take your seat, or kneel down to take your seat. Find the center of the mat, and then roll down onto your back. Once you're on your back, hug knees into chest. Maybe some more movement through the feet and ankles as you need to. But we are making our way back into bridge pose. So go ahead and set the feet down. Knees bent, of course. Breathe in, fill up your lungs. Exhale, core engagement, lifting hips into the sky. Use your upper body as you like for a little extra support. And lift. Just a deep breath or two in your bridge. And again, you're going to rise up on tiptoes, but you might need to step the feet in a little closer towards the body so you can lift, but also keep that nice alignment of knees right over heels and ankles. Feel what's activated here. 2 more breaths. We're not going to hold it too long. Then we're stepping forward, or wiggle the feet forward so your feet are flat on the ground. Extend your arms into the air, roll your way down. Hug knees into chest. Eventually rocking your way up to seated, but this time come to staff pose. So just extend the legs straight out in front of you on the mat. Hands can be by your side, by your hips, and just press into the floor with the hands to help extend spine, roll shoulders back. Again, feet are flexed here. Let's go ahead and take a forward fold. So an inhale to reach arms into the sky. And exhale, hinge forward. You don't have to go all the way down. Maybe hands come down, just land on the shins or knees. Maybe you can reach your feet. For the first couple of breaths, see if you can keep the legs as straight as possible. That might mean not going down too low in order to do that. And then after that, feel free to bend the knees as much as you need to. Maybe fold a little deeper, and maybe if you can, go ahead and touch your toes. Again, just kind of moving back up the legs. Okay, we've been doing a lot of work for the calves in the lower half of the legs, right down to the feet. Now a bit of a return to the hamstrings. Three more breaths. This is also giving us time to take a little breather before we go through one more sequence. All right, 2 more breaths here in this seated forward fold. You might release the legs or feet, reach forward. Inhale, hinge and rise up, reaching into the air. Exhale, bring the hands down by your side. But then eventually just behind you, just lean back into the hands, bend your knees, come back to cobbler's pose so the soles of the feet touch here. Even create a bit of a back bend. Just push into the floor with the hands. Feel the shoulders naturally roll back, tip the chin up just a little bit. Hips might open a little bit more, creating a nice mild back bend to open up through the heart. Take some breaths like this. Just a little counter positioning after that seated forward fold and taking that stretch out of the hamstrings. And of course, from here, we'll just return to boat pose, leaning back. Find that balance. Hug the knees in, lift the feet, hold on to the legs as you need to. Find that good extension of spine. We're not going to hold it. Breathe in. Here we go. Exhale, cross legs, hands to the floor in front or even to the side so you can swing the feet back or hop or step back, plank pose. Go ahead and just take a shortcut to down dog right here. And here comes our sequence. First, just a basic flow. So just an inhale to extend right leg up. Right foot to the top of the mat. Warrior one. Left heel turns to the floor. So a wider stance, rising up, warrior one. Exhale, opening warrior two. There we are, side angle pose. Reach out, rotate arms here, reach high and low. There, nice openings. Breathe in. As we exhale, turn, hands to the floor. We're going to step right back into down dog. So you're going to sweep the right foot back, let it lift up into the air, return to down dog. Okay, right leg in the air. So right foot now returns to the mat, but shy of the hand. So we're going to that high lunge with a short distance between the feet. Shifting weight back, hinge from hips, rise up nice and tall. Lift right heel, lunge deeper, hug to center. Strong legs on tiptoes, hinge forward, shifting weight into the front foot. Step forward, chair pose on tiptoes, hug to inner legs. Stand up tall, still on tiptoes, reach high. Exhale, swan dive. Put a good bend in the knees, spread your wings. It will help you fold without crashing downward. Heels are lifted. Breathe in, extend spine. Just rise to fingertips. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back, plank pose. This time come down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Let's lengthen out the tops of the feet as you move into Cobra or upward facing dog. Again, if you're in up dog, lift the knees. So it's just the tops of the feet press into the ground. Exhale, downward facing dog. That's our sequence. Other side, inhale, extend left leg straight up into the air. Basic flow, so warrior one. Left foot comes to the top of the mat. Right heel turns to the floor. Okay, feet are grounded, rising high, warrior one. There you go. Exhale, opening warrior two. Side angle, reach out. Rotate, here we go. Reach high and low, breathing. This is our vinyasa. Exhale, turn, hands to the floor. Take it back to down dog. So sweep the left foot back and right up into the air, down dog. With the exhale, left foot returns to the mat shy of the left hand, short distance. High lunge, all 10 toes are pointing forward. Find that centering so you can rise up, reach up, and then, of course, lift left heel, lunge deeper. Hug to center, find the strength. Once you've got it, hinge forward, getting weight into that front foot, stepping into our chair pose on tiptoes, hug to center, stand up tall, reach high. Okay, set the heels on the floor, but keep the arms in the air. Inhale, exhale, swan dive. But imagine you're still on your tiptoes. There's kind of a weight shift forward. And that slow, strong connection. Inhale, extend spine. Exhale, fold and bend, hands to the floor in front. Hop or step back, plank pose. One last Chaturanga Dandasana, coming down. One last up dog, long legs, pointed toes, maybe lifted knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Brief pause in your down dog. We're coming to the conclusion of our practice, so just kneel down to take a seat or hop forward. Cross legs, take a seat. Again, sitting in the center of your mat. Roll down onto your back, knees hug in. Check in with your breathing. Maybe you're slightly out of breath, and that's okay. As you hug the knees in, let's go back to relieving the feet and ankles. Wiggle the toes if you can. And eventually just take this into a twist. So you'll start by taking the knees over to the left side. Extend your right arm out to the right side. And just settle in. Settle into this twist. Breathe in and out as the body comes back to that neutral baseline sensation. Maybe even just thinking about your practice, working with balance, where balance comes from and what activates when you are working in balance, especially standing on your tiptoes. When you're ready, come back up to center from that first twist. And then you can take the knees over to the other side. Noticing if your breath is beginning to maybe soften and deepen. And when you feel complete, just make your way back to center. Even check in to see if you need to or want to engage in any other movements or poses before you come to complete stillness. If you need a hip opener here, maybe happy baby pose or reclining cobbler's pose, maybe another back bend or an inverted posture, maybe a shoulder stand if you'd like, another twist. Whatever you like to do. And then eventually just make your way onto your back. Long legs out in front, relaxed feet and hips, arms down by your side, palms up. And this should guide you into Shavasana. Just finding stillness in your relaxation pose. It could certainly be another relaxing position, just something that feels nurturing, feels restorative. You can even turn or roll onto your side and stay there, even come to seated. Stay right where you are. Just continue to focus on your breath, lying here in complete stillness. Continue to tune into the breath. Slow, steady breaths. Once again, be aware of your breathing, this time taking 5 slow, deep breaths. And as you're breathing slowly, feel movement return to your body. At first, it might just be subtle movements. Experience how breath is filling you up. And then sometime after your 5th breath, as movement returns, slowly and carefully roll onto either side of your body, just moving into a nurturing pose. Then from here, continue to move as slowly as you can. Rise up to seated. Finding a comfortable seat on your mat. Feel free to sit on a blanket or a pillow. Feel the re-extension of your spine. Just sitting up nice and tall and proud. And then one last movement together. We'll inhale, extend the arms out and up. Reach into the sky. And the exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. Once here, just take one more breath in and out. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow, saying, Namaste.